Hello all, I'm Lindsay and I was the project lead for 19th Century Literary Society, the John Murray Publishing Archive, which was released at the beginning of April. So held by the National Library of Scotland since 2006 and added to the UNESCO Memory of the World Register in 2011, the John Murray collection comprises one of the world's most important literary archives. Throughout the 19th century, the Murray family published blockbuster titles including Emma, On the Origin of Species, Missionary Travels, and the epic poem Don Juan. Materials span the entirety of the long 19th century and document the golden era of the House of Murray from its inception in 1768, focusing predominantly on the tenure of John Murray II and his son, John Murray III, as they rose to prominence in the publishing trade. The Murrays worked with some of the best-known authors of the 19th century, including Jane Austen, Charles Darwin, David Livingstone, and Sir Walter Scott. They published novelists and poets, but also works by politicians and scientists, explorers. Consequently, this collection covers an array of themes in addition to literary history and business. These include the sciences, politics, society, travel, and the world. The John Murray Archive also houses the most complete archival collection of their most famous author, the poet Lord Byron. So his manuscripts and personal papers, I would say, are a particular highlight of this new collection, and they chart both literary triumph and personal scandal. The Byron Papers make up around 15% of this collection, and highlights include annotated proofs of his works by his friends, including Mary Shelley, personal correspondence, which tracks his very colourful private life, and related works that comment on his tragic death and also the burning of his memoirs. Primary sources digitised in 19th Century Literary Society include financial ledgers, manuscript drafts, printed proofs, and correspondence. Experienced scholars of literary history have a treasure trove at their fingertips here. The unparalleled John Murray collection allows for in-depth research into the everyday workings of a successful 19th century publishing house. Now, several digital and contextual tools will make these materials more accessible for newcomers. For the first time, the manuscript material will be searchable using handwritten text recognition, making more than 200,000 pages easily navigable. Filmed at the Murrays' historic home on Albemarle Street, the video introduction lays out the main themes, stories, and players of 19th Century Literary Society, in the very same parlour where the memoirs of Lord Byron were actually burned. Biographies on the key figures in this collection help students make connection and help them find relevant documents, while an interactive chronology provides vital context to the events of 19th century society. An exhibition on the life cycle of the book charts the evolution of 5 different titles published by the Murrays and demonstrates how a student of book history can use this new collection to track publication using different document types. For example, a proposal, a draft, or even the sales figures. There are so many incredible tales to discover within the John Murray archive, but one in particular really illustrates the role a publisher plays in making history. In 1859, after 20 years of work, the noted scientist Charles Darwin approached John Murray III to publish his theory of evolution, a draft that would eventually become On the Origin of Species. Murray, who was a passionate fan of the sciences, was really eager to publish the work and sent the first draft to his trusted advisor, Whitwell Elwin. However, Elwin was horrified by the work, reporting that it seemed rushed, that it lacked evidence, that its publication would only embarrass the great scientist. In his words, "It is to ask the jury for a verdict without putting the witness into the box." Instead, what Elwin suggested was a much shorter work which would apply Darwin's theory specifically to pigeons, because, to quote Elwin, everybody is interested in pigeons. Murray fought tirelessly to bring On the Origin of Species to publication as we know it today, and the impact that work had is impossible to calculate now. After all, would On the Origin of Pigeons have had quite the same legacy? So this is just one of the brilliant stories you'll discover in 19th Century Literary Society. From book history to travel writing, politics to poetry, this newly digitized resource introduces an unparalleled repository for 19th century culture and for the literary luminaries who shaped it. Thank you.